Hello and welcome everyone to this fifth video on burp repeater. Okay, so actually we are going to the course 0 to 1 in web application pen testing using Burp Suite, and in the last four videos we saw how to install Burp Suite, how to install webcode, how burp spidering works, what are target and scope features, and how burp proxy works. In this video we are going to take it a step higher and know about burp repeater. Okay, so let's get started with it. The first thing is, what is the use of burp repeater actually? Burp repeater is actually used in manipulating each HTML request, and then you can analyze each of the response accordingly. Okay, since one request has one response, you can just view and analyze for if you change something in the request, you can then analyze that what is the change. Okay, what is the expected change in the response. Then you can just you can just keep issuing requests in a specific sequence to test for any application logic flaws. Okay, and the third thing is, you can also change parameter values to test for input based vulnerabilities. There are too many vulnerabilities of that kind and many more things. Okay, you can do much more from burp repeater. So let's see. The main thing is what you will learn from this video. After completing this, you can see that how you can test access control related issues or IDOS, you can say, then cross-site scripting and HTML tampering. You will see that how Burp Suite is useful in finding this kind of vulnerabilities. So let's get started with it. For this you will actually require you just have to open webcode, as I told you in the first video how to download and start it, and also open Burp Suite. This is the repeater tab actually. See, it is just empty right now. This is the request side and this is the response side, and this is just a simple go button, nothing fancier. Now if you go to webcode, since we were going to do IDOR, see, this is the IDOR problem, this is the webcode 8 and IDOR problem. So first you just give the username and ID, the password, it has been supplied here. Okay, Tom and Cat, and just submit. Okay, now go to the third part. Okay, now if we, what this mission is all about is that if you just click on the view profile, this shows the different characteristics of that user. Okay, the name, color and size. But what it wants us to see is that there are two more different attributes to this user, and we can't see it in the user interface itself. So we need to use something like a proxy server like burp, and you can see it in raw there. Okay, since you just click this view profile, if you just go to Burp Suite, this is the profile thing. Okay, this is the link, we put IDO profile, and when you just go to the response, you can see in the response that here it was name, color and size, but here it is name, color, size, role and user ID. So the two things extra are role and user ID. See, you can see it here. Now if you just type role and user ID, okay, give a comma as a delimiter, just submit it. See, it says that correct, the two attributes are that are not displayed in the user interface itself are this. Now go to the fourth one. Now what it is saying is that you saw your own profile, right? You saw it in the Burp Suite and you also saw it there, here. Okay, your own profile. Now it wants us to see if there is any other way to guess your own profile, to see your own profile. So it is saying that it is almost the same as that request. If you see this request of your profile, there is no identifier here. Okay, there is no identifier present by which you can identify if this is you or not. If there was something called an ID equals to a random number or something, then you can say that yes, changing the ID might give you the profile of some other user, and that is what IDO is actually. So this is the thing, and since it says that it follows almost the same thing, then we will just do that. we will just give the link here, webboard IDOR profile, and here we will use this user ID so that it can identify that we want the profile of this user. Okay, now when you submit it, just submit it. See, it says congratulations, you have used the alternate URL route to view your own profile. This was the alternate, okay, way. Now how burp repeater works is that you can just click here, okay, right click here and send it to repeater. See, now the request comes here. Now if you just press go, you can see the response back. Okay, you can see the response, the HTTP headers and everything with the response. See the output, the role, color, size and everything. Okay, now in access control flows, what happens is you need to change something. It can be an ID or anything. Okay, for here it is mostly seeming to be an ID. I just wanted to show you how burp repeater works as a whole. Okay, so this is how burp repeater works. You can just select any of the request and responses. Okay, not the response, you can also send the responses also, but mostly you will do the request. That no, not for the responses. Yeah, you can send any request to the repeater, and if you want to change something, see that what makes it possible, right? That was a request. Wait, let me see. This was the request which we were seeing earlier. You can't make any changes here. See, if I am trying to do any backspace or trying to do any type to anything, you can't type it here. But when you send it to repeater, you can manipulate it. Okay, if I try 5, okay, I change something, I change it to 2. Okay, see, you can change it. You can also make this post a get method. Okay, and you can also change any header. You remove anything, it doesn't matter. Okay, as a whole, see, I can remove the whole cookie as a whole, and when you press the go, it will show you the response according to this request. Okay, it will show you the response for that. Okay, so don't think that why I didn't solve IDOR, you can solve it yourself. I just wanted to show you how burp repeater works for access control issues. Okay, okay, and this is how it is used. You can change different things. You can change this identifier and see what response you get. Okay, let's go back to the second example for cross-site scripting. Okay, so this is a cross-site scripting problem. If you see here, this is the problem where it is. See, here it is for reflected accesses. Okay, now just suppose I just type anything here, hello Obama, Modi, anything, and leave it there, Marvel, D comics. Okay, I just type random words. Okay, now if I type the purchase option, what you will see is that you are getting, see, this is the request which I made. It is a get request, and the thing which I typed in those input field are there. Now what you can do is you can just send it to repeater. Okay, and you can change it accordingly, it doesn't matter. Okay, and if I change this to accesses payload, okay, let me see what happens. Okay, now when I do a go button, it says HTTP 400, okay, not found, error. So what we can use is a URL encoder decoder. Just bear with me for a second, and if we just URL encode this thing, this is an accesses payload. If you don't know, okay, it's a very basic one. And just remove this. What I am trying to show you here is that for this request, if you see the response, okay, this is the response you get for this request. Okay, and you can see it accordingly for each one of them. Okay, now if you go to the stored accesses, problem, you can also, since I know like this was an XSS problem, you can also change it here, like image source equals to dvc. Wait, it's not working right, just wait, let me see for yes, let's see for the, this is a stored XSS problem. If you just type some comment, just leave it there. Actually it's, I don't know why it's not showing. Just add a comment, it can be any comment, okay. Just type hello, okay, and just turn, you can turn on the interceptor also, just turn it on, and when you submit it, it comes here. You can also send it to repeater, okay, it doesn't matter. You can also turn on the intercept, okay. Now it comes repeater. You can change the thing here, right? You can, in the text you can provide like this, image source equals to x on error equals to alert 1, okay. And now if we just, there is an extra this, okay, this happens. Now what, how you can see it is, right click here and show response in browser, okay. Copy this link, or the most easy thing will be if you just refresh web code, just read, see it comes here. Whatever request you send here, the response will be shown in the browser itself. If you see the, in the comment section, you can see this was the payload which you provided, image source equals to x on array equals to alert 1. The anytime you will just refresh it, you will get the payload, okay, XSS. So this is how burp repeater works, okay. You can change anything, you can manipulate anything. It can be either cookie, any header, any method, it can be anything, okay. This is JSON request, and you are getting, you can change it, and you can see the what response accordingly. Let's see the third one, that was HTML tampering. Now it's a basic kind of vulnerability which, yeah, this will be the most easy for you to understand actually. Let's see, just see, when I do it the quantity twice, the price gets higher. When I do it 3 times, it gets more higher. Let's say it for 1, and we do the checkout, okay. Let's check the proxy in the history tab. This is the thing, okay. For one quantity, for one piece of item, that total price is this, okay, 2999. Now I send it to repeater, and what I do is, instead of 1, I change the quantity only, but leave the total to be the same, okay. I didn't change the total. Now if I do go, see, it says in the response that, well done, you just bought a TV at a discount, okay. It means that for 3 quantities of item, the total is still 2999. Now this is called HTML tampering, okay. You just change the quantity, but there was some flaw in the application itself that it happened. Let me see what happens if we refresh this. See, it's green, so that it means that you have successfully completed it. It says it here itself. So let's go back to the slides. So this was all for repeater, and there are these are the different repeater history tabs, okay. You can check all of them, which I have done through now, and you can also rename it. If you double click on the tab, you can also rename it anything, okay. Second, third, any, it depends on you itself. And there is also a search option here. You can search for anything, and it will be showing in yellow color, okay. There is search for both request and response, and in the request also you can see the different things. Just the basic thing, that's how a repeater is used. I think you learned many things from this video, and this is the must read resource from Portsfigure. You need to see this blog on how to use a repeater, it's very useful. So this was all for this video. I hope you liked this video, and let's go to the next one where we will be learning about intruder, the burp intruder. Bye bye and happy hacking.